I'm Denise Genovese from IPEM, and today I'm joined by Ajay Garg from Equirus. Ajay, thanks so much for stopping by for a chat.
Thanks, Genevieve. Being part of IPEM is always a pleasure. It's a great event, and I'm glad to be here.
Can we start? Tell us a little bit about Equirus and your role there.
Equirus is something which we started in 2007, and I was the founder of the firm. And what the opportunity we saw was, the whole formation of Indian markets vis-a-vis, investments and financialization trends. And as a firm, we have grown to become a full-service investment bank, helping private equity to make money in India. Then we've also been doing public market transactions. We do a lot of IPOs. And we also now manage wealth and asset management businesses as part of our overall platform. So that's what Equirus is today.
Let's talk a bit about the Indian financial markets. How have they performed over the last few years?
So if you were to look at last 3 years, Genevieve, we have done 40% returns if you just look at the indexes. But it's in the local currency, 40% is in the rupee terms. But we did lose, against dollar, we lost 10%. So if you were to look at dollar terms, we have done 30% in terms of appreciation over the last 3 years. I think if you were to analyze the 3-year period, most of the returns were made in the first 18 months. And last 18 months has been pretty flat. It's been a pretty flat situation. And then this is the broader market index. You would have had a good amount of corrections in the small and mid cap, which would have gone very high in the first 18, and last 18 has been a little bit of this thing. But overall, the trend is upward.
And why do the financial markets in India have such upside potential?
India is sort of, reached around 4 trillion plus GDP today. And at that size, we are knocking the door to become the third largest economy in the world. At the same point in time, we have a per capita income of $3,000. So think about it in this context, Genevieve, that we have a third largest economy in terms of global standards. With 4 trillion plus GDP, and a lot of corporates which would have that type of scale vis-a-vis any other European country or most parts of the world. And we have a per capita income which has a lot of way to go up. So if you talk to most analysts, if you talk to most people who are looking at long-term trends, everyone is banking on the fact that India would become a $10,000 per capita income in the near future. That type of a growth no other market presents. And with that type of an upside, we are seeing a reasonably good reason to be in India. On top of that, we have one of the best, macro-political framework, which the government is very disciplined to a fiscal. We are achieving a lot of this growth, continuously working on the fiscal deficit and reducing that. Even in the current budget, we have seen the government announce a reduction in the fiscal deficit target for next year. And I think the demographics of Indian geography, because of young population, rising income aspiration, also provides the best middle class market, both from a production perspective and consumption perspective. And that is a trend we are seeing that, in the last 90 days, we have had almost large 5 trade deals being done with EU, with UK, US also, New Zealand and a bunch of other countries. And that is showing that every geography wants to engage with India in a meaningful way. And seeing that as a good opportunity for Indian companies or companies based out of India to benefit from broader access to that markets in each country, and also allow the consumption basket to improve. So I think net, India has all the right ingredients to become the best market for the next 10 years.
And why should we consider India separately rather than putting it in a bucket with other emerging markets?
I think the emerging market, most emerging markets dwarf in terms of size of Indian markets. And more importantly, you don't have, if you see the last 15 years, we have seen a big financialization of household assets in India towards the markets. So we are seeing the domestic mutual fund industry itself get to a 10, 11 trillion type of a size right now, which was not existent a while back. And in that type of a size, we have seen almost close to a large participation of domestic investors. Today, Indians are buying equities more. And because of the large population, rising income and financial assets being created, you're not seeing that type of a trend in any other emerging market. So we have seen this, that US did very well because we did see the realignment of MSCI index from 48, 49% in 2012 to 72% currently, which has allowed a lot of people to participate in the US market and that give the returns. The similar trend is in the Indian market. So India being part of emerging market is not able to capture this type of growth, because if you look at emerging market on an overall basis, its returns are much lower than Indian market. So that's why we're making a case for it to look at Indian market as a standalone asset class.
And can you talk a little bit about IPO trends in India? Are there certain sectors that we should be watching out for?
India's IPO markets have come of age last few years. You're almost seeing close to 100 plus companies access the market. We did see post the 91 liberalization, you did see a lot of sectors getting formed, foreign capital in the form of private equity, strategic capital, and even the domestic capital formation leading to a lot of companies getting created. And now we are seeing the private India becoming public India. So you have seen MNCs like Hyundai, LG. They did an IPO in Indian markets for the Indian businesses. You have seen a lot of private equity exits getting created. India has generated the largest private equity exits in the last 5 years, even higher than what we have seen in other markets because of the capital market. A lot of the trends are because India rides on all the factors, consumption, exports, and engineering and all those data points. So that creates a base for a lot of companies in various sectors. So I won't say that that you see companies in manufacturing, you see consumer, digital, financial services, technology. So we are seeing IPOs across the space, and that makes it a very interesting market.
Ajay Garg from Equirus, thanks so much for coming to chat.
Thanks, Jeannie, for having me here, and all the good.